You, you can, yeah, just you put the name on the pledge.
I just put my name on top.
Yeah, just show them in the yeah, just
It's just
put
money,
put
right?
pledge. Yeah, just put pledge and the name.
Pledge and
Yeah,
then
and
that's it.
you put them, then they'll go default.
Alright, so
All them stuff. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So we continue, inshallah ta'ala, first with the Al-Arabiya Bayna Yadayk. We're going to go through a few of these passages. These here, we took them during the summer program, but we're going to go through them again, inshallah ta'ala, as a review. So this chapter is titled At-Tasawwuk. At-Tasawwuk from Souk, market. So At-Tasawwuk refers to shopping. At-Tasawwuk refers to shopping, going shopping or shopping. Al-Hiwar al-Awwal, the first conversation, وهذا الحوار بين بائع وطالب. هذا الحوار بين بائع وطالب. This conversation is between a seller and a student. قال البائع, the seller, he said, أهلا وسهلا. أهلا وسهلا, you understand this entire phrase to mean welcome, when you welcome in someone. الطالب, أريد معجما من فضلك. أريد معجما من فضلك. I want. أريد means I want. معجم, dictionary. So أريد معجما من فضلك. من فضلك, please. I want a dictionary, please. البائع, he responded, أي معجم تريد. أي معجم تريد. One second. أي معجم تريد. Which dictionary you want. أي which. أي معجم تريد. Which dictionary you want. So the student, الطالب, أجاب الطالب أو رد الطالب, the student responded. You can say, like, to respond to a question, you can say أجاب or رد. أريد المعجم العربي. أريد المعجم العربي. أريد المعجم العربي. I want the Arabic dictionary. أريد المعجم العربي. I want the Arabic dictionary. البائع, the seller, he said, تفضل المعجم العربي. تفضل المعجم العربي. And تفضل, as you mentioned, it's used to, like, if you want to give somebody something, like, go ahead, take it, right? Giving them, it's have the pleasure. Like, if someone is coming to enter a building and you want him to pass first, you can say tafaddal. Right? Someone asks you for something, and you're giving it to them, you say tafaddal. So it's like a polite way of giving someone the precedence, or giving someone the opportunity, or giving someone the leadway. تفضل المعجم العربي. وماذا تريد أيضا. وماذا تريد أيضا. So the seller, he continues to ask, وماذا تريد أيضا, and what you want also. And what you want also. What do you want also? الطالب, أريد كتاب القراءة وكتاب القواعد. أريد كتاب القراءة أريد كتاب القراءة وكتاب القواعد. Right? I want the book of reading and the book of قواعد. قواعد is like principles. Now, depending on the what you call it, the country or the school, they're going to refer to different things as Kitab al-Qawa'id. They're going to be like a default. When they say Kitab al-Qawa'id, what is it they are referring to? Like the book of principles, the book of rules, what exactly they are referring to. Here, Allahu Alam. But for example, there is, everything can have a Kitab Qawa'id for it. So for example, if it meant in the context of reading, the Kitab of Qawa'id for reading is going to be the book that teach you how to read, like what we call the Qa'ida, Al-Qa'ida Al-Nuraniyya, or Al-Qa'ida Al-Baghdadiyya, or Al-Qa'ida Al-Madaniyya. Right? Qa'ida is the singular word, Qawa'id is the plural word. So he wants the book of reading, qira'ah, and the book of principles or guidelines, or whatever context it's referring to. Al-Ba'i', the seller, he said, هذا كتاب القراءة وهذا كتاب القواعد. This is the book of reading, and this is the book of principles. The student, أريد دفترا وقلما. أريد, I want, دفترا, a notebook, وقلما, and a pen. البائع, تفضل الدفتر والقلم. هل تريد شيئا آخر. هل تريد شيئا آخر? Do you want, right? تريد شيئا آخر, you want شيئا, something, آخر, another, right? شيئا means thing, and as we mentioned, shay, this word shay can be a thing, something, nothing, anything. All of that can be shay. Now, meaning the word shay in general can be used in all of those contexts. Now, depending on the context, you're going to translate it appropriately. So here, آخر means another. So, هل تريد شيئا آخر means you want another thing, you want something else. هل تريد شيئا آخر. Like in Surah Kahf, ولا تسألني عن شيء. Don't ask me about anything. ولا تسألني عن شيء. الطالب, the student, he responded لا وشكرا. No وشكرا and thank you. البائع المطلوب 30 ريالا. المطلوب, المطلوب means what's required, right? Meaning the money that's required. Now these literal translation, you have to understand it in the context that is being used, and you have to know that these are their expression. So we might use different expression, different words. You may change the word if you just want someone to understand what's happening. But as you study in the language, the best is to maintain the words and understand the expression. The screen is not shared. It's showing that it's shared here. Check, see, maybe something is, or exit the meeting and enter back. So here, al-matlub 30 riyalan, 30 riyal, 30 riyal. So meaning al-matlub, what's required? The required is 30 riyal. Now, just as some additional, benefit, matlub from the word talaba, right? Talaba means the request. So the person who's doing the requesting is the talib, the requester or the seeker. The talaba, you're requesting something, you're seeking something, you're after something. That's the word talaba. That's where they have student from, right? A student, you're requesting, seeking, you're after knowledge. And then you have the thing that you are requesting is the matlub. So here in this context, the ba'i' is also, he is the literal talib, in the sense of he's the one requesting the money, right? And what is he requesting? Money. So the money, the 30 riyal, is matlub. Now this word also is used in the context of like wanted criminals. Like the police, they are requesting, they're seeking, they're after a criminal. So they will have up a poster, matlub, right? Wanted. So every context, you're going to translate it appropriately to get an understanding of what is intended, but you always understand the word literally in the language, so you understand their expression. And some words we might just like skip it and just give the general understanding so we don't get confused, as everything, you can't swallow up everything in the beginning. Like for example here, ahlan wa sahlan, right? The general understanding, this is their equivalent of when we say welcome. Someone coming, you have guests, welcome. You have a visitor, welcome. You have, what do you call it? A customer, you say welcome, ahlan wa sahlan. تفضل هذه 30 ريالا. تفضل, right? Go ahead, take the money. Here is it. هذه, this is 30 ريالا, 30 riyal. Now note, after 30, how the thing that you're counting is. They say 30 riyalan, right? Not riyalat, which is the plural, not riyalin, 30 riyalan. So if you say 30 men, you're going to say 30 rajulan. You're not going to say 30 rijal or rijalan, right? 20 rajulan. So these numbers, the multiples of 10, that's how they work, with the exception of 10. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. Anything comes after it, the thing that you're counting, going to be in the singular form. In the singular form, with mansub. Like in the Quran, حتى إذا بلغ أشده وبلغ 40, right? With 40 سنة, right? 40 سنة, not 40 سنين or 40 سنون or sanatan. The singular word is used. And 40 ليلة, right? وَإِذْ وَاعَدْنَا مُوسَى 40 لَيْلَةً. The second حوار, البائع والمرأة. This is between a seller and a woman. مرحبا أي خدمة, right? مرحبا also another word used to refer to to mean welcome. Marhaban, welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban, something they use all together. Right? All going to translate as welcome. That's the understanding and the equivalent. Ayya khidmatin. Now, ayya khidmatin, this entire phrase here, mean any service. Meaning, how can I help you? Like how we say in English, how can I help you? How can I serve you? How can I be at your service? أي خدمة, any service. أريد سمكة ولحما ودجاجا. We're going to run through this. Most of these words we cover in the chapter of food. I want fish and meat and chicken. البائع تفضلي. Now he is speaking to a woman. So he's not going to say تفضل. He's going to say تفضلي السمكة واللحم والدجاج. وَمَاذَا تُرِيدِينَ أَيْضًا. And what do you want also? Right? He was speaking to a male, he said تُرِيدُ. Speaking to a female, تُرِيدِين. وَمَاذَا تُرِيدِينَ أَيْضًا. الْمَرْأَةُ أُرِيدُ خِيَارًا وَبَصَلًا وَطَمَاطِم. I want khiyar, cucumbers, and onion, and طماطم is tomato. Now, all of these here are general, whether it's with the alif and lam or whether it's in the singular nakira state, in the indefinite state. What is meant is general, right? So when she say here, uridu samakan wa lahman wa dajaj, in this one here, I want fish and meat and chicken. It doesn't mean I want a fish and a meat and a chicken. That is not what's meant. Right now, in certain contexts, that might be the meaning. But here, he's asking, and she's saying generally, I want fish and meat and chicken. So he responds, تفضل السمك واللحم الدجاج. Now here is in response to what's before, so it's specific. It's not general. تفضل meaning go ahead. This is the fish and the meat and the chicken. Meaning the fish you ask for, the meat you ask for, and the chicken you ask for. So أريد خيارا وبصلا وطماطم. I want cucumbers and onions and tomatoes. You can translate it plural or singular, but is general meaning. تفضلي الخيار والبصل والطماطم. تفضلي, right? He's giving it to her, so he's saying تفضلي, the cucumber and the onion and the tomatoes. وماذا تريدين أيضا? And what do you want also? أريد سكرا وشايا وبنا. I want سكر, sugar, وشايا. Right? You got to stretch the sheen. Washayan means and tea. Wabunnan. Here the bun referring to coffee. But bun, it's a form of it can be like grain, the coffee bean. Bean. The bun generally refers to the coffee beans. تفضلي السكر والشاي والبن. هل تريدين شيئا آخر? Do you want anything else? Right? Another thing, but here anything else better. نعم طبق بيض. Yes, طبق بيض, a tray of egg. طبق بيض, a tray of egg. طبق in this context means tray. A tray of egg. وعلبة ملح. وعلبة ملح, and a container of salt. علبة ملح. هذا طبق البيض. This is the tray of eggs, or the tray of the egg. وهذه علبة الملح, and this is the container of salt. Now علبة, this here, anything that can contain something is generally a ulba. Anything that you can use as a container is generally a ulba. هذا طبق البيض وهذه علبة الملح. الباعي المطلوب 80 دينارا. The required amount, what is required, what is wanted from you, 80 دينار. 80 دينار. And dinar is a type of currency. And see again, after the multiple of 10, it's in the singular form. تفضل هذه 80 دينار. This is 80 dinar. Okay. All right, let's go through this one quickly also. Al-ba'i. And for the new students, like I mentioned, right, if you ever have an issue with the translation, or not getting the general meaning, because a lot of things when you're fresh and brand new is going to be very strange, and it takes a longer time to process. So you have to give it time, but right now just understand the general meaning and memorize it as it is. That's the best thing you can do as a new student. Don't even attempt to understand the structure and the grammar. That's going to waste your time. And always remember, think like a child learning to speak, right? You're not understanding anything with structure. You're just listening, following the pattern, and repeating. And that's the best way to learn the Arabic, and the fastest way actually to learn the Arabic. Al-ba'i'. So here we have a ba'i and mushtari. Al-ba'i, the seller, al-mushtari, the buyer. So here you have to think about the context. The buyer, he is entering into the shop, and the ba'i', he say tafaddal. Now it's as if he is telling him like, welcome, go ahead, have the pleasure to be here. Tafaddal, right? That's what tafaddal it implies. Like have the fadl, take the fadl, take the favor, the pleasure. أي خدمة, any khidmah, any service, right? How can I help you? المشتري أريد قميصا لو سمحت. I want أريد قميصا, a shirt. لو سمحت generally means like when you say please, but it is more a more literal translation is like if لو, if سمحت, if you will, if you allowed, if you allow, if you will or if you allow. لو سمحت. تفضل هنا. تفضل هنا. Right? So هنا means here. So like he's calling him here. Like come here. تفضل هنا. هذا قسم القمصان. This is the section of shorts. قمصان plural. Shorts. هذا قسم, section of shorts. They are the category of shorts. But in the context of the shop, use section. هذا قميص أبيض. This is white. This is a white shirt. هذا قميص أبيض. This is a white shirt. وهذا أصفر, and this is yellow. وهذا أزرق, and this is blue. وهذا أحمر, and this is red. وهذا أسود, and this is black. If these colors are new to you, memorize them just like that. And قميص أبيض, white shirt. قميص أبيض, white shirt. أصفر, yellow. أزرق, هذا أصفر, this is yellow. Take it with the pair, and it have a better effect than for you to say أصفر, أصفر, yellow, أزرق, blue, and like that. Just memorize it with something. Memorize it with a noun, memorize it with a pronoun, something. Or what you call is asma al-ishara, demonstrative pronouns. هذا أزرق. So أزرق, أصفر, yellow. أزرق, blue. أحمر, red. أسود, black. المشتري بكم القميص. بكم القميص. Now بكم means how much. When you say بكم, it means how much. بكم القميص, how much. القميص is the shirt. How much is the shirt? Right? Meaning become, for how much is the shirt. For now there is a missing thing here. If you notice, there is nothing here in the fatha state, as we mentioned before. Kam, when you say kam, asking how much, quantity, the thing that you're counting takes fatha state in the singular form. So for example, if you ask how many students in the class, kam taliban. Kam taliban. How many students? But here, he is not counting the short. He is not asking how many short. But he's asking how much for the short. In other words, how many dinar or how many dollar or how many real is for the short. So that's why the short here, al-qamisu, has the alif and lam with the dhamma. So become al-qamis, you understand it to mean how much for the short. So, and you follow the same pattern. You go to the shop, how much for the potato? Become al-batatis. How much for the book? Become al-kitab. Right? You go Makkah or Medina for Umrah. You ask how much for the thawb? Become al-thawb. Become al-jilbab. Become al-kitab. Become al-asal. How much for the honey? And so on. And you just follow the pattern without understanding anything about the structure. You just follow and repeat. Al-qamisu bi-'ishrina dinar. The shirt is for 20 dinar. Al-qamisu bi-'ishrina dinar. The shirt is for 20 dinar. Same thing. Follow the pattern. Al-kitab bi-'ishrin dinar. The book is for 20 dinar. Al-kitab bi-'ishrin dolar. Dolaran, sorry. Al-kitabu bi-'ishrina dolaran. The book is for $20, and so on. أي قميص تريد? Which shirt you want? أي قميص تريد؟ أريد القميص الأزرق. I want the blue shirt. هذا هو القميص الأزرق. This is the blue shirt. Right? If you say هذا القميص الأزرق, it means this. It can mean this is the blue shirt also. But it can also mean this blue shirt. Right? هذا القميص الأزرق can mean this is the blue shirt, or it can mean this blue shirt. But when you say هذا هو القميص الأزرق, it means definitely you're saying this is the blue shirt. Now, when you're gonna say the huwa, if you see there's a need to emphasize that this is what you want to say. هذا هو القميص الأزرق. Because if you were to tell someone هذا القميص الأزرق and your tone is not decisive, it can sound to the person as if you're saying this blue shirt, and the person is waiting. What about the blue shirt? So you say هذا هو القميص الأزرق to let him know you are telling him that this here is the blue shirt, whatever blue shirt you're talking about. You call it the Damir al-Fasl. And again, for the new students, wherever you don't process, don't fight it. Just give it time and just understand the general meaning. هذا هو القميص الأزرق. This is the blue shirt. That's sufficient. هذا هو الكتاب. This is the book. Right? هذا هو القلم. This is the pen. هذا هو المسجد. This is the masjid. And that's sufficient at the moment. لدينا أثواب جميلة. لدينا, we have أثواب, ثوب, right? The plural for ثوب. أثواب is the plural for ثوب. Gowns or dresses. جميلة, beautiful. We have beautiful gowns. Become a thawb, right? How much for the thawb? How much for the gown? Or how much for the, if you go in Makkah and Medina in the Middle East, generally thawb, when you ask for thawb, they refer to the garment that hangs from your shoulder all the way past your knee, almost to the ground. That's what's they normally refer to the thawb. In classical context, it's all of that is a qamis too. And thawb is any garment. الثوب ب30 دينارا. الثوب ب30 دينار. The thawb is for 30 dinar. أريد الثوب الأبيض. I want the white thawb, the white garment or the white gown. المطلوب 50 دينار. The required amount, the cost, the required amount 50 دينار. تفضل. Go ahead. Here it is. هذه 50 دينارا. This is 50 dinar. And like I always recommend, go through back everything. Make sure you try to read everything in the chapter. Inshallah, we're gonna pause here. Just remember, we're gonna continue from page 196. There is some additional benefit here, especially for the new students. Page 196, we're gonna continue from there, inshallah ta'ala. Or page 195, sorry, page 195 from this part here. So let's switch over to the Qasasun Nabiyyin. Okay, it's the Qasas al-Nabiyyin is showing up. Where you is it 14 or is it 13 we have to do? Okay, we finish 13. ويطول هذا القحط وذهب الساقي وأخبر الملك. So we have to do 14. الملك يرسل إلى يوسف. الملك يرسل إلى يوسف. Al-Maliku, so the context here is where the Yusuf, before he informed the other two prisoners of the interpretation of the dream. One of them was crucified, and the next one was, and the other was, he returned to be the drink giver, or the wine giver, or the wine pourer, or the saqi of the Malik, of the king. And then the king had a dream, and the saqi went and asked Yusuf for the interpretation of the dream, and Yusuf was still in prison. So here, al-maliku, so the saqi, the person who pours the wine for the king, he went and informed the king of the interpretation of the dream. So the king, yursil, al-maliku yursilu ila Yusuf, he sent to Yusuf, meaning the king, he sent back this saqi, the person who was pouring the wine, or he sent someone else, but he sent someone to Yusuf. Yursilu ila Yusuf, the king sends to Yusuf. Now there's something missing here, right? That is understood, meaning he sent a messenger to Yusuf, asking or requesting Yusuf to come to him, or freeing Yusuf from the prison. Al-Maliku yursilu ila Yusuf. وَلَمَّا سَمِعَ الْمَلِكُ هَذَا التَّأْوِيلَ وَالتَّدْبِيرَ فَرِحَ جِدًّا. وَلَمَّا, right, and when سَمِعَ الْمَلِكُ, the king heard, هَذَا التَّأْوِيل, this interpretation, هَذَا التَّأْوِيلَ وَالتَّدْبِيرَ, and management. So when he heard the interpretation of the dream and how to manage what is going to happen, because the dream is foreseeing the drought and famine that is coming, fariha jiddan, he rejoiced a lot, very much. Fariha jiddan, he rejoiced very much. He was very happy. Waqala, and he said, Man sahibu hadha ta'wil. Man, who? Sahibu hadha ta'wil, is the companion of this interpretation. Now the word sahib, right, it's used differently than how we use companion in English. So you can say the sahib of something referring to the person that this thing is attributed to. So here, man sahibu hadha ta'wil, who is the companion of this interpretation, meaning who did this interpretation? Who is the owner of this interpretation? Right? Ashab, like ashab al-fil, from the same word. Sahib, singular, ashab, plural. So ashab al-fil, referring to the companions of the elephant, those who were destroyed with the elephant or those whom the elephant went to attack. It can refer to both. وَقَالَ الْمَلِكُ, and the king said, مَنْ هَذَا الرَّجُلُ الْكَرِيمُ الَّذِي نَصَحَ لَنَا وَدَلَّ عَلَى التَّدْبِيرِ. من هذا الرجل الكريم الذي نصح لنا ودل على التدبير. Man who, هذا الرجل, this man, al-karim, is noble or generous. So man هذا الرجل الكريم, who is this noble man, who is this generous man? الذي, who, نصح لنا, advised us. Right? Nasaha means to advise. And it's used with the pronoun lam, with the pronoun la, with the la. So in English we say advise, I advise Muhammad. But in Arabic you're going to say nasahtu li Muhammad. You use it with the pronoun. So just know that the word nasaha is used with the pronoun, sorry, not pronoun, the preposition la, with the preposition lam, whether it's la or li, depending on how you use it. Right, so the word nasaha is used with the preposition la or li. So, man hadha rajul al-karimu alladhi nasaha lana, who advised us. Who is this noble, generous man who advised us? Wadalla ala tadbir, and he guided to the management, how to manage it, right? And we said also dalla is used with the preposition ala. Dalla is used with the preposition ala. Dalla means to give a dalil, right? Give some guidelines, show the way. So if you ask someone to show me the way to the masjid, dullani ala al masjid. Dullani ala al masjid. قال الساقي, the saqi, he said, right, the one who pours the wine. هذا يوسف, this is Yusuf as-Siddiq, the truthful one, right? هذا يوسف الصديق, this is the truthful Yusuf, or Yusuf who is as-Siddiq. وهو الذي أخبر أني سأكون ساقيا لسيدي الملك. وهو الذي, and he is the one who, أخبر, informed, meaning Yusuf informed him, but he didn't say أخبرني, he just أخبر. أني, verily I, verily me, سأكون, will be, saqiyan, a saqi, right, a person who pours the drink, li sayyidi, for my master, al-malik, the king. واشتاق الملك إلى لقاء يوسف. واشتاق الملك إلى لقاء يوسف. Ishtaqa means like to long for something, when you have shauq, right? Ishtaqa, when you have shauq, when you have longing for something, you want to see this thing. So Ishtaq al-Malik, the king, he longed for liqa Yusuf, for the meeting of Yusuf. Now again, this word ishtaq is used with the preposition ila. English we say I long for, you say ishtaqtu ilaik, right? Ishtaqtu ilaik, I long for you. So he longed for the meeting of Yusuf. Liqa Yusuf, the meeting of Yusuf. Liqa, the meeting of Yusuf. Man kana, like in the Quran, man kana yarju liqa'a rabbihi. Man kana, whosoever yarju, hopes for the liqa'i rabbi, the meeting of his Lord. فَلْيَعْمَلْ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا, let him do good deeds. وَأَرْسَلَ إِلَى يُوسُف, and he sent to Yusuf. وَأَرْسَلَ إِلَى يُوسُف, he sent to Yusuf, meaning he sent a messenger to Yusuf. وَقَالَ الْمَلِكُ, and the king said, إِئْتُونِي بِهِ, Right? Remember, i'ti, ata bi means to bring. Ata by itself, ata means to come, but ata bi means to bring. So here is a command form. I'tuni. Sorry, u'tuni, not i'tu, u'tuni. U'tuni. Come with, bring to me. The ni here is me, referring to the king. So u'tuni, come to me, bring to me. Bihi, the he here referring to him. Astakhlishu li nafsi. So bring him to me, meaning bring Yusuf to me. Astakhlishu. Astakhlishu means I will keep him, the who referring to him. But astakhlis means I will like favor him for myself. Astakhlis, when you say someone istakhlasa something, meaning he kept that thing specific for themselves or for himself. He favored that thing for himself. Li nafsi, for myself. So u'tuni bihi astakhlishu li nafsi. Any question on this? Before we move on, see this. Okay, let's take one more from the passage. And remember the default homework. Read, make sure you're reading loud at least 10 times after understanding it. And write out all of the new vocabulary that you learn. So the 15th passage, Yusufu yas'alu taftish. Yusuf, yas'al means asking, at-taftish means investigation. Yusuf asking, meaning he asking for the investigation, as they had accused him before they threw him into the prison. وَلَمَّا جَاءَ الرَّسُولُ إِلَى يُوسُفَ قَالَ لَهُ إِنَّ الْمَلِكَ يَدْعُوكَ. وَلَمَّا جَاءَ الرَّسُولُ, when the messenger came, إِلَى Yusuf, to Yusuf, وَقَالَ لَهُ, and he said to him, إِنَّ الْمَلِكَ يَدْعُوكَ, verily the king yad'u is calling ka, you, right? When the messenger came and said that, ma radiya Yusuf. Radiya means to be pleased, right? He was pleased. So ma radiya, he was not pleased. Yusuf was not pleased. An yakhruja min as-sijni hakadha. He was not pleased to leave, yakhruj min as-sijn, from the prison. هكذا, like this. ويقول الناس هذا يوسف. ويقول الناس هذا يوسف. هذا كان أمس في السجن. And the people, they will say, meaning, if he leave the prison like this, without having an investigation and being clarified his case, يقول الناس هذا يوسف, the people will say, this is Yusuf. هذا كان, this, meaning Yusuf, this one, this person, referring to Yusuf, kana, was, ams, yesterday, fi sijni, in the prison. Innahu, indeed he, khan al-aziza, he betrayed the aziz, the minister. إن يوسف كان كبير النفس أبيا. إن يوسف كان كبير النفس أبيا. As you mentioned, inna refer to what do you call it? Emphasis. So inna Yusuf, and kana refers to past. So verily Yusuf was. Now here is a general statement. It's not, it doesn't mean that he was and he's not anymore. Meaning this was something of his trait. Kabir nafs. Kabir means big, nafs means self or soul. So when you describe someone as being big of soul or big of his self, meaning is a person who kabir nafs, meaning he respects himself, right? Abiya, like, is a form of like pride, but a praiseworthy pride in this context. You don't allow yourself to be humiliated for no proper reason and so on. Inna Yusufa kana kabir al-aqli. He was big of his intellect. Dhakiya, intelligent. Right? Dhakiya means intelligent. So kabir al-nafs, so this is like, this last word is like an explanation for what precede. So kabir al-nafs, when you are big of yourself, meaning you have pride. You have the praiseworthy pride that prevents a person from doing something that is not befitting. And kabir al-aql, big of intellect, meaning you're intelligent, you're wise, you're smart. ذكية. لو كان أحد مكان يوسف في السجن وجاءه رسول الملك وقال له رسول الملك إن الملك يدعوك وينتظرك لأسرع هذا الرجل إلى باب السجن وخرج. Now here you have a long statement. So you gotta keep track. You have law means if, and the answer to the if is still at the end. So there's a lot of details. So you gotta keep track. لو كان أحد Makana Yusuf. Now, ahad, kana refers to the past, and also kana can refers to presence of something. Makan means place. So, Makana Yusuf means place of Yusuf, the position of Yusuf, meaning being in prison like Yusuf. So here, لو كان أحد مكان Yusuf, meaning if someone was in the place of Yusuf. If someone was in the place of Yusuf. لو كان أحد مكان يوسف. So for example, if you say لو كان أحد مكان المدرس. If someone was in the place of the teacher, right? لو كان أحد موجود. If someone was present. So لو كان أحد, if someone. This entire statement, you can understand. If someone was in the place of Yusuf, في السجن, in prison, وجاءه رسول الملك, and the messenger of the king came to him. جاءه, came to him. وقال له رسول الملك, and the messenger of the king said to him, meaning said to the person in the prison, إن الملك, verily the king, يدعوك, is calling you. وينتظرك, and he's waiting for you. Right? You can put a comma there. So if that was to happen, what would have happened? لَأَسْرَعَ هَذَا الرَّجُلُ. This man, meaning the man who is in the prison, لَأَسْرَعَ, he would race. أَسْرَعَ إِلَى بَابِ السِّجْنِ. He would race to the door of the prison. أَسْرَعَ means to race, to rush towards. Right? لَأَسْرَعَ إلى باب السجن. He would race towards the door of the prison. وخرج, and left. I think the general meaning is clear. If any issue, just let me know, inshallah. ولكن يوسف لم يسرع. ولكن, but Yusuf, لم يسرع. He didn't rush. He didn't race. ولكن يوسف لم يستعجل. But Yusuf لم يستعجل. He didn't, he wasn't hasty. يستعجل, like he wasn't in a hurry. He wasn't hasty. لم يسرع, he didn't rush towards the door. He didn't race towards the door. And he wasn't hasty. بل قال, rather he said, لرسول الملك, to the messenger of the king, أنا أريد التفتيش. I want التفتيش, the investigation. Meaning I want the investigation into my situation, my case. أنا أريد البحث عن قضيتي. I want البحث. Now a bahth can means a search, a research, a look into something. And this word bahth, it is used with an. This is the preposition that is used with it. So you always link. No matter how you translate it in English, when you use the word bahth, you use the word an. Qadiyatun refers to case. Qadiyatun. So qadiyati, my case. And if you write this word by itself, you're going to write it with the ta marbuta. So he wants a bahth an qadiyati, and he wants a research into his case. So he wants an investigation and a research into his case. And the word bahth also can be used in the context of university research. Like you have a bahth to do for your school or for your college. The same word can be used. Or you have a bahth for something you lost, right? You lost something on the road. You say, أنا أبحث عن ساعتي, for example, or أنا أبحث عن. You remember, use it with the عن. أنا أبحث عن مالي. I'm searching for my wealth. That's the word bahth. And taftish is a more intense bahth. Taftish is like an interrogation, investigation. That's a taftish. Not interrogation, sorry. And what's the word I just used? An investigation. وسأل الملك عن يوسف وعلم الملك وعلم الناس أن يوسف بريء. وسأل الملك عن يوسف. The king asked about Yusuf. وعلم الملك, and the king knew. وعلم الناس, and the people knew. Verily, Yusuf is free. And Yusuf bari is free in the sense of he is innocent. وخرج يوسف بريئا وأكرمه الملك. وخرج يوسف بريئا. Yusuf exited the prison بريئا, free, meaning in a state of innocence, being free of his accusation. وأكرمه الملك, and the king أكرمه, honored him. We're gonna pause with this here. Inshallah, I just realized I made a mistake. This word here, you say i'tuni, right? Not u'tuni, i'tuni. Because the singular word for it is i'ti. So you look at the singular word, i'ti, so the plural form. I'ti if you're commanding one person to come, or i'ti bi, one person to bring, like ijlis, and is'al. You command one, you use the kasra for those words. Now if the middle letter is dhamma, that's where you put the dhamma. But you look at the singular. So like for example, talaba yatlubu utlub. You're not going to say itlub, you say utlub. Kataba yaktubu uktub. So here is ituni, because the singular is iti. So uktub gonna remain uktubu, ijlis, ijlisu, and so on. Abiyan means like proud. When somebody is abi, like they is like a form of self pride, but it doesn't necessarily means a dispraisable bad pride. Like a person, for example, if you ask some like the pride that will prevent a person from doing anything that is not befitting, or doing anything that is not foolish, or doing anything that can bring down his character. All of that is a form of being abi. Inshallah, with regards to the grammar, we're gonna resume with that, inshallah, in the following week, inshallah ta'ala. I'm gonna do an evaluation test, just to get an idea of how the book is with the students. So review everything that we did so far as much as possible, inshallah, especially from the qasas, and also the passage from the Arabiya Bayna Yadayk. And we're gonna have that evaluation, inshallah, very soon. And just to note, this is not gonna be like as we build on the vocabs, we're not gonna continue with this book like this as it is. The book gonna eventually turn into fully homework, but we're gonna go through another book, inshallah ta'ala, where there is less vocabs. So we gotta make sure that we are building, and this here gonna be self-practice, inshallah. If there's no more questions, we're gonna end here, and any clarification or so, you can always post it in the group, inshallah ta'ala. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.